I will say this. I watched today. I didn't know that was continuing to go on, but Portland is unbelievable what's going on in Portland. The destruction of...
I can't believe this is happening. Donald Trump has actually seen our story we have been reporting on. And it's all because of you guys. Now, before we dig into that, if you're new here, protesters and federal agents have been clashing every single night for 4 months in a row now at this Portland federal building. Yeah, Donald Trump had no idea this has been happening every single night for 4 months in a row now. He's like shocked. So we're going to talk about his reaction. And like I said before, it's literally because of you guys Donald Trump knows about this. All of the journalists we've been talking about and covering, Fox News finally picked up on this. Donald Trump watches Fox News, and now we have Donald Trump possibly sending the National Guard. And literally, it's because you guys have been hyping up the journalists, talking about this story. That's how Mr. Trump knows about it. But before we start the video, make sure to please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, but it also helps others see the videos as well, including Donald Trump. So let's dig into this.
I will say this. I watched today. I didn't know that was continuing to go on, but Portland is unbelievable what's going on in Portland. The destruction of the city.
Are you going in the
Well, I'm going to look at it now because I didn't know that was still going on. This has been going on for years. So we'll be able to stop that very easily. We'll be able to stop it. But, you know, that was not on my list.
So I'm going to be honest with you. The assumption was Donald Trump has to know what's going on in Portland. I mean, it's pretty crazy. You have protesters and federal agents. They are clashing every single night. You have pepper balls, explosions. I mean, everything you could imagine. Donald Trump would have to know this is happening. But it turns out he had no idea this whole time.
Portland, but when I watched television last night, this has been going on. You wouldn't be standing if you were the mayor. You would be. Can you imagine what they're doing? They're walking in throwing smoke bombs into the store. These are paid terrorists, okay? These are paid agitators. These are professional. I watched that last night. I'm very good at this stuff. These are paid agitators.
So Donald Trump found out about this because he watched television last night. And I'll talk about that in a second and how that relates to you. But also, Mr. Trump, if you want to know how these guys are making their money, where all of this stuff is coming from to support this, you can hit me up or the other journalist. We know all of this information already. We've only been covering it every single night for 4 months in a row now. Okay, so how did you guys get this story on Donald Trump's front desk? Well, a couple of days ago, Fox News decided to run a story about what was going on in Portland, but the clips that they used and the information, that was all from the journalist I have been talking about and hyping and really backing up. The main journalist is Katie Davis-Court. They used a lot of her clips, and if you are subscribed to my channel, you know we talk about her a lot. She's like one of the top journalists who's been covering this story. But you also have Honey Badger Mom, where in this news segment, she was being assaulted by the protesters. You also have Ryan. He was also in the news segment. We also talk about him a lot. And Cam Higbee. He has been helping out a lot too. All of these journalists we have been hyping up. All of you guys have been supporting them. You have been hyping up this story so much. Fox News finally caught onto it, and then that's how Donald Trump saw the story. So, in the weirdest way possible, because you guys have been liking, commenting, supporting the journalist, we have all gained so much motivation to keep talking about this, keep putting this out there, and after 4 months, Donald Trump finally wants to do something about this.
They get paid money by radical left groups, not radical right groups, radical left groups. And they get paid a lot of money. And you see it with the signs. You know, they all have perfect signs that are printed. They look as good as that sign. Those signs aren't made in basements. They're made at professional printing offices. And They cost a lot of money.
Real quick, before we continue, make sure to please subscribe to my channel so I can keep you guys up to date with this story. We've been talking about it almost every single day on my channel for 4 months in a row now, and the hard work has paid off. But really, it's because of you guys. So make sure to please subscribe, because you're going to get the most accurate updates on my channel, especially if more and more people are going to cover this. Trust me, we have all the inside information, and I will make sure to share it with you guys. And no disrespect to our president, I'm glad he's finally going to do something about this, but this is how I know he doesn't really know what's going on here. There are no signs. The signs that are out here are pictures of the officers and their families, their leaked information on the street post. That's how bad it is out there. So, are these guys paid agitators? Do they sometimes have signs? It's a lot worse than that, and I really do think when Donald Trump finds out how bad this is, I would not be surprised if the National Guard gets sent in immediately.
These are paid agitators, and they're very dangerous for our country. And when we go there, if we go to Portland, we're going to wipe them out. They're going to be gone, and they're going to be gone fast. They won't even stand the fight. They will not stay there. They've ruined that city. I have people that used to live in Portland. They've left. Most of them have left. But what they've done to that place is it's like living in hell. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, I think you'll find this pretty cool. Again, Katie Davis Court on X, go follow her. Because Fox News covered the story and Donald Trump saw the story, she was invited to go on top of the federal building and pose with the American flag. Now, one thing that's rather interesting about this picture, you can really see the vantage point these officers get. And you can see, right across, these are the apartments where people are calling 911 and nobody is getting any help. If you have an issue, you call 911, you're near the federal building, it's going to take some time, and sometimes they don't even show up. And again, Donald Trump's going to be finding out about all of this, which he probably did because in the Fox News segment, they talk about how the cops are not showing up. But again, the main point of all of this, Katie Davis Court managed to get on top of the federal building, so that is pretty cool. After all of this hard work, we get to see some representation on top of the building here.
Hey, which one of you dumb fucks is the one talking shit?
So that was filmed by Honey Badger Mom on X. If you guys want to go give her a follow, less than 24 hours ago, she was on the scene last night. And just so you guys know, she hasn't been on the scene in about a month because she was attacked by these protesters. Well, now she's back in action. So again, what she reported, what she saw, really nothing much has changed.
This is the Federal Protective Service. The facility is closed and not open to the public.
And I think Honey Badger Mom forgot her mask because I can hear her in the background coughing. Nonetheless, that is some great reporting because we can really immerse ourselves through Honey Badger Mom and, we can hear her cough. So this is no joke. This is every single night. Think about the residents who live across the street. They deal with that every single night.
I'm calling about the protesters. They've cornered 2 women out here. They need help. They've cornered them. Please send a cop.
And this was uncovered during discovery. One officer telling another on the police radio, quote, "If it were not ICE, we could assist directly." Police in Portland declined an interview, but said in a statement, quote, "We take these concerns seriously. At the same time, we are committed to protecting individuals' rights to express themselves peacefully." Now,
and again, within the own transcript of the Portland police, if it were not for ICE, we could help directly. So the Portland police will help you, but very indirectly. In fact, again, the journalist I talk about, Honey Badger Mom, she was assaulted over here. Okay, when you heard that 911 call, that was Honey Badger Mom in that video being ambushed. She was assaulted right over here. The police made her walk all the way around the corner, all the way around the building, in the middle of all these protesters, all the way back here. We're still not there yet. Here. So imagine you call 911 and you want some help and they say, hey, come to the back of the building. I can't, I just got hit in the head. No, you got to come in the back of the building. I can't come to you. That's how much fear these Portland police officers have. Again, I really don't know if Donald Trump understands how bad the situation is. Now, recently, Tom Homan actually talked about flooding the zone with Portland, but again, things have really changed. It looks like Donald Trump wants to focus on that federal building, and Tom Homan wants to focus on these deportation operations. Let's look and see what he has to say.
I said weeks ago that with sanctuary cities, how we're going to address it, we're going to flood the zone. We got 10,000 more agents coming on, we're going to flood the zone. We don't have a problem, a biggest problem like Florida, where every sheriff and chief's working with us, or Texas. So where we're going to send our additional resources to sanctuary cities. Why? Because we know there's a problem there. We know for a fact they're releasing illegal alien public safety threats to the streets every day. So we're going to send the boots on the ground to the places that we know there's a problem.
Okay, what many people don't realize, I know you do if you're subscribed to my channel, Portland is a very unique situation for the Trump administration. Unlike in Los Angeles, unlike in Seattle and some other sanctuary areas, the police will work with the Trump administration when it comes to protesters assaulting federal agents. Generally speaking, those areas actually do work with Trump. Generally speaking. In Portland, no. The police literally do not even work with the federal agents when it comes to their own people attacking the federal agents. That's why in Portland, it's a little more unique, so you might have to send in some more assets, even maybe the National Guard.
Address the biggest problems first, and that's your biggest cities, or sanctuary cities, whether it's New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Portland, Seattle. I mean, they're sanctuary cities, and we're going to flood the zone. Sanctuary cities, I've said it 1,000 times, they're going to get exactly what they don't want: more agents in the communities and more worksite enforcement. If they won't let us arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of a county jail, where it's safer for the agent, safer for the alien, certainly safer for the community. If they're going to release them back in the community, then we got to send a whole team to look for that person.
It's also, again, safer for the community, as in safer for the protesters. These protesters are getting hurt every single day because they don't have people telling them, hey, don't do that. Now, I know you would assume it's a bad idea to clash with federal agents, but that could all be avoided if the police show up and give a citation and say, you know, you've been arrested for being here. That happens in Los Angeles. In one of my most recent videos, someone in Los Angeles, a protester, was arrested and cited, and really, it's just a slap on the wrist. But it's still better for a protester to get arrested and get a citation than face federal charges. Your entire life has been ruined because the local police won't step in to stop these protesters. That's the point I've been trying to make with all of these videos I've ever made about sanctuary cities. It is better to work with the federal agents. Whether you like it or not, overall speaking, it is way better for these protesters and people who hate ICE. It's better for them.
Which they release a lot of people and send a lot of teams. If we can't find them in the community, then we'll find them at the work site. And when we go in the community, I want to make this clear, because sanctuary cities, again, will get something they don't want. When we find a bad person, and we will, if they're with others that aren't a criminal threat, but they're in the country illegally, they're coming too.
This right here is where I really think sanctuary lawmakers have really misled their own people. Whether illegal immigrants or voters who support sanctuary policies, I 100% get why you would want sanctuary policies. That's fine. I actually don't even care about that. But the reason why I started making these videos is because I realized, hold on, these sanctuary cities don't realize if they would work with the Trump administration and they would just hand over the criminals, all of those mothers who've probably really done nothing wrong, all of those random like taco shop owners or hot dog shops, whatever, like mom and pop shops who are not here legally, all of this could have been avoided. But now the Trump administration, even Tom Homan has said he sometimes feels bad about going after them, but he has no choice. Sanctuary cities are not working with us to find the criminals, so now we have to get everyone.
So more collateral arrests are going to occur in sanctuary cities because you forced us into the community.
When can the jurisdictions expect you guys to flood the zone?
It's coming. I mean, I don't want to get too specific because we don't give them too much heads up, but it's coming. We've already started adding resources to some sanctuary cities, but operations are being planned. and it's coming.
Look, all of this takes a lot of time, and there are about 100,000 applications plus trying to sign up for Homeland Security within the ICE department. So again, it takes a while to actually get the train up and then be deployed where you're going to be deployed. So for Tom Homan, he's sort of in this weird situation where he knows he has a lot of assets here in a few months. It's going to be right at his disposal. He can help advocate where we should push resources, but it's a waiting game. For the time being, though, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of rapid deployment over in Portland, especially because Donald Trump is seeing this. One thing that I was really confused about, and I'm sure some of you were, the Portland and Los Angeles story, they were overlapping, and the National Guard was over in Los Angeles, and yeah, they clashed here and there, and they stopped some protesters from doing bad things, but over in Portland, it's like, hey, why wouldn't you send the Guard there? You're sending them over in Los Angeles. We saw some action over in Seattle, but nothing for Portland. Now we know it's because Donald Trump had no idea. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Homan is told, hey, you're going to send in more officers now, and we might even send in a National Guard component.
These are paid agitators, and they're very dangerous for our country. And when we go there, if we go to Portland, we're going to wipe them out. They're going to be gone, and they're going to be gone fast. They won't even stand the fight. They will not stay there. They've ruined that city. I have people that used to live in Portland. They've left. Most of them have left. But what they've done to that place is it's like living in hell.
Okay, so those are some very harsh words from Donald Trump. In a new video, I will talk about what the reaction is from the protesters. Whenever you get these announcements, oftentimes you get a bunch of TikToks, you get a lot of hype videos, a lot of momentum is actually gained for the protesters. So what I really think is going to happen is I think Trump or Tom Homan out of nowhere will just flood Portland. Now the question is, will they flood Portland in this area, or will they flood the entire city as far as going after illegal immigrants? I don't know exactly what the plan is, but what I do know is all of the journalists I have worked with and talked to, they are all very thankful for all of your guys' support. I get a ton of comments and messages saying, how can I help them? I want to be out there with them and protect them. They all say thank you so much, and I say thank you to you guys as well. I started covering this story as a complete accident. I thought everybody else was going to talk about it, and nobody is, so here we are. Anyway, thank you guys for everything. God bless, and we'll see you all later.